Welcome everybody. Today we will look at how to edit your underwater photos using Photoshop or other free software. Welcome everybody. Today I'm a little bit sick, a little cold. It's a perfect time to have a look at maybe some underwater photos that we've been taking, and I'll take this opportunity to show you how I edit underwater photos. Now I have to tell you that with my camera I have the option to capture photos in a raw file format. Most of you probably will be taking photos in JPEG format, and to explain really quickly the difference, JPEG files are compressed files, so your camera has a certain profile on how the camera wants to produce the photos. So once you take the photo, it'll take to save the space and make it easier for the camera. It will process that photo and save it in smaller compressed photo. So all the information that your camera can see will be basically compressed into the photo as the camera wants you to see it. This is not a bad thing. It saves a lot of memory, and most of the time raw files from the camera, they don't look as good without editing on the software like I have here. So if you are not planning to edit your photos, then maybe taking a JPEG photo is a better option. Now I always edit my photos from underwater. They all need to be edited in my opinion, so I always take photos in a raw file, and we will not look how to edit raw file photos. It is pretty straightforward. We will look at how to edit the JPEGs, because this is, I think, what most of you guys will be doing. Okay, I have prepared two photos right here. Both of them are actually taken in Egypt at our yearly trip in 2019. We're also going this year in 2020 in April, and generally we take a lot of we do a bit of a training, a bit of a fun diving, so there's always a loads of photos and videos coming out of that trip. So what I will do, I will use to edit these photos, I will use Photoshop. A lot of people use Lightroom, and there are also free programs you can download. They all pretty much do not the same thing, but for photo editing you can use all of them. Some are more advanced, you can do more things, and some are maybe just more basic programs. So let's take this photo here. I'm going to just open it here in Photoshop, and let's have a look what we have here. Okay, so it's a nice photo of coral reef. I think this was taken in Ras Al Khaimah, and first of all you can see that it's kind of blunt. One thing I want to tell you also straight away is that your computer, your screen, has also certain color profile. Every screen, in fact, your mobile phone, your TV, your computer screen, they all have different color profiles. So every photo looked at every different screen is going to look a little different, especially if you're looking at photos on your phone. Most of the phones will be emitting what's called blue light, so all photos, everything you see, they're going to have some blue color added to them. Now if you want to make sure that once you do the edit on the video on your computer, and that photo is going to look good on pretty much all devices, and print it if you want to print it, What you need to do, and I recommend to do it, is calibrate your screen. So this is a color calibration thing. Some of the screens come more professional, for more professional use for photography and so on, already come calibrated. But you can buy a small calibration unit that you can calibrate pretty much any screen if you have any computer. Okay, so my screen is calibrated. I have adjusted my brightness, I adjusted my red and everything down to the calibration profile I want. And now I can start looking at how to edit this photo. There is a very easy way that I would use to edit this JPEG photo. First of all, Photoshop. I'm not sure about other programs. I'm pretty sure some of them have the automatic function. You can find automatic, where is it here? You have in image, you have automatic color adjustment. So when you press that, you can see that this photo has already been somewhat edited by the software you're using, the Photoshop in this case. Now you might be happy with this, and you'll be happy with that, and you'll save that, and that's fine. What I will show you the manual way how to edit this photo. So let's go back to original look, and what we're going to start with is going to be with the levels. So here you press levels, and you're going to have your dark, white and midtones. Here you can adjust these and edit the photo the way you want. It will give you all different effects, like a little bit more contrast and so on. But I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to do it with a color picker. So you see there's three color pickers. There's black for blacks, white for whites, and gray for pretty much grays. Midtones here. So we're going to try to start with blacks and whites. Okay. In this photo, what you want to look for, if you want, you basically want to tell the computer, to tell the software which is the white color in the photo. So if you look at this fish here, they have a white sort of white spot above the eyes. So what we're going to do, we're just going to make sure that we're going to try to confirm that this is the white, is the kind of like the whitest white, the most white in the photo. It looks like it is. So what we can do here is we play a little bit with the blacks to boost the blacks, and then we're going to find this white spot. We can just zoom into it and take a white picker here, click, and go to that white spot and just click on it. There you go. All right, let's zoom back out again. So now we told the software that this is the white color, real white color in this photo. And the software has adjusted all the colors in the photo based on that information. Okay, now we will look for black color. With the black color, it's the same process, but we're going to use the white slider here to find the blackest spots here. We can also just go immediately on that fish if you want, but the blackest pixels on this photo in this case would be here at the bottom. So again, I'm going to zoom down here, and I'm going to use the black picker to click and tell the computer, right, this is the black color. All right, so here we go. Okay, so now we have adjusted the blacks and whites. You can now play with this slider here of the this is midtones and shadows, so you can bring the contrast you want to the photo. So if you don't want to have that milky water there, you can bring it a little bit to the right, and it's going to make it a little bit darker and going to basically pop this color and fish in front of the picture. So you can play with that a little bit just to find what you like. I prefer to go in something that looks the way it actually was when we were diving, so nice and clear water and colors, and fish were pretty good and visible and sharp. And now we need to look at another thing. So you can already have a look what was it like before and now after. So you can see the colors are coming a little bit better. Okay. Next thing we can do here is have a look at the curves. Okay, what the curves are doing. When you are underwater, we have a problem that the colors from the sunlight don't arrive that so deep. 5 meters deep, you will lose all your red colors. So you will not see the red colors deeper than that on a very good day, very good visibility, clear water. You can get them as far as 10 meters if you have a really good conditions. But most of the time 5 meters is as deep as you can find the red colors. So here I'm going to click from RGB, I'm going to change this to red, and this will give me a curve for all the red colors that I can find on this picture. Now you can take this curve here and adjust. You can say you can boost the red colors. So if there are red colors in this photo, the pixels that contain the information, okay, here is the red color, we can a little bit boost that information. So you can bring up the red colors a little bit. Now I'm not sure, but I think I was using a light in this particular photo. So I was using strobes. And this is a really good way how you can bring that color down underwater with you. So if you have even video lights, if you have good powerful ones, they can shine a little bit of light on all of this area in front of you, and it's going to give it a little bit more color, because the red and yellows, the oranges we lose underwater, it's not only from the surface down to the depth, but also between your camera and the subject. So the further away you are, the less color you will have in that subject. You want to get as close as possible for sharpness, for the color, and for all the details that you can basically capture with your camera. Right, so I boosted the red color so we can see it here on the corals. I click on and off, you can see how the fishes, they get a little bit that orangey, orange and yellowish color, which is basically made by the red color in that picture. The next ones are green and blue. So normally with the green curve, you can adjust the blueness of the water. So you can see if I bring the green down a little bit, immediately the image becomes a bit more bluer. But if you watch, okay, this is the original. If you watch this sides here and the color of the colors, they all have a green tint to them. So if I bring down that green, I remove that green from those pixels, I will get a nicer, more natural looking image. So it's not as green as it was before. Now you don't want to go too much. You can do this if you like. At the end, you can adjust these colors the way you want. This actually looks quite nice, and get the effect of the photo that you want. So if you find that you're just green and then the red's coming out a little bit too red, you can always go back and just bring them down a little bit again, so to give you a little bit more natural look. And then you go blues, and again you can see that there's a little bit of blue tint on everything, so I can just bring it down a little bit, and that blue is going to give a little bit of room to that green as well. So it's all about finding a balance. You don't want too much green, you don't want too much blue, you don't want too much red either. So just trying to find, accustom your eyes to something that you think looks like what you want it to look like. All right. Now you have to understand that we're not adding color. We are a little bit boosting the color that is already there in that image, but we are not painting the image with anything extra, you know. If that photo would have been taken at 20 meters and without any lights, you would not have any of the reds, and they would be basically just green and blue, so you wouldn't be able to do this. And that's why getting anything deeper than 5 meters, I highly recommend getting strobes or light to shine a little bit of light to bring the colors into the camera. Right, so this is the photo we have. I can remove everything we've done. So this is what it looked like before, and now this is what it looks like after the edit. One more thing we can do here is, if you look closer, it's a little bit of hazy. It's not super sharp. What you can do, if there's enough light, the exposure of the photo was good, for the camera you're using, you can try to get a little bit of contrast into this photo, a little bit of sharpness by adding a little mask. We're just going to merge all these layers here, and here in filters you can find a sharpen filter, and here you can look at how to add a little bit more contrast to the photo. So here I'm just picking up the samples of the fish. So for example, I'm looking at this fish here right in front, and I'm looking at the stripes, and here we have the amount and radius of pixels that we want to use for sharpening. And I wouldn't go more than 40 normally. That would be I think the maximum, because sometimes you can get that grainy look, you know. When you start pushing your sharpness, you're going to get you're going to separate the pixels everywhere here in the blue and in the dark areas, and you're going to have some noisy image. So you don't want that. So also sometimes, on the other hand, if you want a little bit of blurriness in your photo, then you can also use this to keep that blurriness in there, you know, or don't use it at all. Right, I think this is good. I'm just going to leave it at 3.9 and 40. So now the photo, I would be finished with this. If I would be going for maybe printing this photo, I would maybe spend a little bit more time on it. For social media or desktop background or anything like this, I think this is good enough. So yeah, this is as simple as it is. You can always use the automatic function to adjust the colors and tones and curves, but I find that doing it manually, it's a little bit more rewarding, and you understand what the colors and your actions will actually do to the photo and how to do it. So yeah, this is it. If you have any questions about how to underwater photography, we are all really into it here. So we are trying to at any given moment take as many photos as we can, and just share all the experience that we have on the water in amazing places like this and here in Tenerife. Yeah, so if you have any comments or any questions, let us know, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see you on the next video. Have a good day. Bye bye.